Okay, I'm going to speak on the topic money, and I have a list of chunks in front of me, and I'm going to speak on the spot. That is why I suppose I will switch over from one thing to another, and it won't be a logic speech, but still. It seems I have a lot to say on the topic money, but at the same time, there is nothing special because I don't consider myself as an expert or even mature enough. Mm, Even though I attended different seminars and read books trying to understand how to deal with money wisely, I can't boast that I follow all the rules that I consider to be important. I run a small private school to earn a living, and I'm lucky to say that I make enough money to provide for my family and have a good standard of living, being able to travel and study and enjoy life and do what I want. And I'm lucky to say that I earn a living doing what I really love. Mm, I'm a self-made person who earned everything by myself. I have never won a lottery or come into a fortune, and I remember there were hard times when I was a teenage girl. My parents got divorced, and I remember and I know what it means to be in need. I remember how hard it was for my mom to make ends meet, and we lived just from paycheck to paycheck, and being able to buy just food and pay the bills. Sometimes my mom was in. There were times when my mom was in debts because she didn't get salary for months, and that time she had to borrow money from the relatives or friends. Sometimes our grandparents supported us. They never lent us money. They just bought maybe the clothes or paid for our after school clubs and trainings, extra lessons, something like that. Mm, and Mm, It was really difficult to live on a tight budget, and I remember that I was ashamed of not wearing fancy clothes or not being able to hang out with friends because I didn't have an opportunity to do it. And that is why I started working quite early. I applied for a part-time job while I was studying at college, and I remember that I even had to take a loan to be able to buy a laptop because I needed it for my studying, for doing my homework and writing all the reports and making presentations. Then, when I graduated from college, I entered the university, and at the same time, I started working at school. And that time, I lived from paycheck to paycheck, and but at the same time, I used every opportunity to earn a bit of money, trying to find some students to give private lessons or to have a part-time job in a private school conducting the lessons in the evenings. And I try not to borrow money because being in debts, it's like a burden that keeps me in stress, and I don't like this feeling. That is why I try to plan everything now. I have quite a strict plan within a year, where I have a list of things that I want to buy or want to do. I try to plan everything in advance and save up enough money for to make all my wishes come true. I tried to be a reasonable spender. I don't like wasting money and throwing money down a drain. I don't like shopping. I don't like looking around the shopping malls or go window shopping. For me, it's like a waste of time and waste of money. And but I'm never sorry for spending money on traveling and education and studying. That is why I attend mm, different courses during the year that to be able to brush up my knowledge and improve my professional skills or to find out something new. Mm, what else? Mm, I Now I have a lawyer and an accountant who help me deal with money because I don't want to go into the roof of the matter and be snowed under all these piles of documents and the stuff like that. I pay taxes and mm, I save some money to do the repairing of my office. I'm going to do it up this summer and buy new furniture and to um, create cozy atmosphere at my working place. Um, what else? Mm, I remember I bought my first car when I was 26. It's almost 10 years ago, and my grandparents gave me 100,000 rubles, and of course wasn't enough, so I had to take a loan and from the bank, and for the next 3 years, I had to pay off the debts, including interest. And I remember I bought the cheapest car of all. It was Dalmatiz, but it was brand new. It wasn't a second-hand car. Then after 3 years, I sold it and I had some savings, but it was not enough, so I took a loan from the bank again to be able to afford a bigger and better car. Luckily, we didn't have to take a loan for a mortgage, and because we came into a flat after my grandparents died, but it cost a fortune to do it up and to buy everything because the flat was very old and we had to change everything, starting from the windows and floors and the walls, and we bought the new furniture and every single fork and knife. Um, what else? I I know that it is important to save money, and it is said that you must save 10% of your income, but I can't say that I follow this rule. Actually, I follow this rule and I save even more than 10% of my income, but within a year. So every single year I have to start from the very beginning. I have a special bank account, and every month the bank manager withdraws money from my bank account and transfers it to a special bank account where I keep my savings. Um, but I am not able to use this money for at least 5 years. I don't think it would be enough for me just to mm, provide for the family and stop working, just start enjoying life and receiving big interest. Um, what else? There were times when I worked very hard 24/7, and I was on the edge of exhaustion. I worked non-stop without taking breaks for several years, without going on vacation, because I just used every opportunity to invest money into developing my school, promoting and buying new books and gadgets for work, attending different courses and so on. But now I consider work-life balance is very important, because um, if you that because there is no point in making a fortune if you are not able to enjoy spending money on the things that make you happy. So I have plans for future. I want to travel, I want to study abroad, I want my daughter to get a good education and become a real professional specialist, and I will do my best to support her financially, and mm, maybe we'll need to buy another flat for her. Um, so she is able to live apart from us when she enters university, for example. Um, I I consider myself a reasonable spender, and I try to plan everything in advance, and I won't buy things that cost an arm and a leg if I can't afford them. I just try to plan, to save, and but at the same time, I don't chase for money and don't worship them, because I think that there are things that are more important than money.